And I want you to honestly know from the bottom of my heart, I'm not trying to insult anybody. But with that said, I'm going to be brutally honest. And if you're insulted, I apologize. But I can't help you by telling you things that aren't true, right? So I'm going to tell you something with 100% confidence. If you are serious about making money, you're going to want what I'm about to show you here. There's not like some of you are going to want it. Every one of you out there that is serious, okay? I'm going to say it again, serious, because there's a bunch of dreamers and tire kickers who are in love with the idea, but they're not serious, okay? And if that's you, I feel for you, because at this point in your journey, I can't help you, all right? Only until you buckle up and get serious are you going to be able to get anywhere. But if you're serious about making money, you're going to 100% want this, no ifs, ands, or buts. However, if you are not serious, like I said, I can't help you. As much as I would really like to, I can't, okay? Okay, so my name is Frank Anders, and I am the giveaway guy. I'm a full-time internet marketer for, I guess, I can't remember if I'm in year 6 or 7, okay? And even for half of the time that I've been full-time, I still struggle to get over $3,000–4,000 a month. At the beginning, I just struggled to pay my bills, but it was, you know, and part of the reasons for the struggle is I didn't really understand money. Okay, I'm not a stupid guy. And anybody who's on this call, they want to make money. But if we don't understand what it really takes to make money or how to go about it properly, then we're not going to have it. Okay? So let's talk about money. And I apologize in advance if I'm going to jump all over the place. This is not a sales webinar. There's no practice presentation. I'm just winging it. I put a couple slides together to keep my mind focused, to share some ideas I had, okay? So the other day, 2 things. The other day, what we're going to talk about here is we're going to talk about guaranteed income. Because as you read in my email, I was speaking to this guy, Jonathan. And he just had one of these, like I've heard so many horror stories, and I've bought all kinds of garbage, and I've been fooled by some real shysters in the past too. But he had a rare example of where some real vicious people went out of their way to con him out of you know, his life savings. And this is so I decided, you know what? I'm just going to offer him the moon and the stars to see what I can do to help him get to the next level. So I did that for 2 reasons. One, because I want to help him. But the more important reason is because this man was willing to do whatever it took to get to the next level. Okay? Whatever it took. I can't help somebody who's not prepared to take action. And I had no doubt in my mind that if I worked with this man, my time would not be wasted. Okay? So I'm not worried about no money back guarantee with this guy. I'm not worried about an income guarantee. I'm not worried about any guarantees I made him, because I know he's going to use a proven system and it's just going to work for him, and finally he's going to make some money, right? Now, when we want to talk about money here, so let's talk about money. I got an email 2 weeks ago or whatever. I got this email from this guy. And he says to me, before he's going to register for the webinar, he says to me, will I be able to watch your training and make money? I have no money. Okay? So he's telling me that he has got no money to invest in his business. And he's asking me if he can make money without money. So let me ask you, before I tell you what I told him, what do you people on the call think? Do you think it's possible to make money without any money? Paul says no. Tom says you need some money. Greg says no. Bruno says no. Okay, so here's what I told him. Gregory says it depends. Jorge says it's very difficult. You're absolutely right. So I'm going to give you a real life example. A year and a half ago, I launched a product, and we had a way for a person to join this product, okay, for free and earn their spot. They had to pass up so many sales to me to earn their spot. Okay? So we had lots of people sign up for free. Okay? I forget how many, but there was thousands. He was the only one who earned his spot for free. So and then he went on to make about another 10 or 11 sales after that. So he made a couple $1,000s with me, and he didn't pay any initial investment. Okay? But what I told the man in the email, as I said, when I started, I was so broke. I had to move back in with my mom and dad, and I had to go to the public library to get on the internet because I didn't have any money. But the minute I had money, what did I do? I invested it in some internet. Okay? If you can't get online, you're not in the online business. That requires some money, right? $40, $50, $60, $70 a month, depending on your internet. And then the minute I could afford hosting to launch a website, I paid for the $10 a month hosting. I didn't have no money to do it. I couldn't buy plugins. I couldn't buy training to tell me how to do a whole. But the minute I made a couple dollars with my website, I invested it in some more software. The minute I had a little bit more money, I hired a developer to make me my own software that I could sell it as my own and keep all the money. Every single time that I made a little bit of money, I invested in me. I invested in inventory. I invested in much needed tools. I invested in education. So my answer is, does it take money to make money? You absolutely, positively must invest in your future. If you do not, you will not get anywhere. The belief that you can make money from nothing is not true. Everybody that got to the next step, no matter how poor they started, they raised a small amount of capital and they turned it into something else. And they continued to do that until they were financially secure. You must invest in your future. Okay? It takes money to make money 100%. Scared money does not make money. So what do I mean by that? If you are scared to take a leap to spend $30 a month on a product because you're not sure whether or not you're going to be able to make the bill at the end of the month, is not a wise way to look at business. Okay? I'm not telling anybody to spend money they don't have. I would never do that. You have to be very wise with your money. You cannot put out more money than you have. You cannot spend money on rent and food to buy a training course. Okay? We've all heard some gurus tell us a stupid story about how they did that. They went and sold their TV and their couch, and they didn't eat for a month, and they lived in their van by the river, and now they're millionaires. Ah, bull crap. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you're scared to make an investment in you, you're screwed. So quit all that nonsense. If you want to get to the next level, you take the plunge. Whether that's that little investment or whether it's a larger investment, so long as when you make it, you're not going to be homeless or starving. Okay? So I'm going to save you some time. Okay? If you are a penny pincher that doesn't spend money on anything for your business and you're looking for a way to fast track your way to success without investing in you, this is not for you. Okay? This is not for you. I can't help you. You're welcome to stay and listen, because there may be a lot of things that you will hear today that are going to really help you. And if it sticks in your mind, maybe sometime later in the future when you're ready, you'll take what I've taught you here today and then you'll be able to use it at that time, okay? So let's talk about money. So if we're going to invest, right? I just said you got to invest in you. What do you think is the best investment out there right now? Just shoot out some ideas. The absolute best investment on the planet right now. What is that? Gregory says Bitcoin. Paul says Facebook ads. Bruno says software. Yorgi says silver. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk a bit about Bitcoin, but please know in advance, I have nothing to do with Bitcoin. I do not invest in Bitcoin. I'm just going to use it as a point of reference, okay? Because when we're talking about investment, Bitcoin has done some pretty special things. So I want to use it to compare to other things so that we have a good point of reference, okay? Are we all clear on that? Type a 1 in the chat box if you understand that I am not promoting Bitcoin. Okay, good. So, no Bitcoin. Okay. So, I'm going to talk about Bitcoin versus digital assets, okay? Because Bruno said software. But until we analyze the numbers, it's all talk, right? It's all nonsense talk until you analyze the numbers. So let's analyze the numbers. In 2017, Bitcoin increased by 1,700%. Holy macaroni! Like that's an investment in 1 year that, you know, unless guys were doing stuff illegal in the past, I don't even know if there's another example of a 1,700% rate of return on a commodity on the stock market or currency. Okay, an unheard of 100% per month. You made 100% ROI per month. You know, in Canada, if I get a guaranteed bond from the government, it pays at like a 1.3, 1.5%. Sometimes when the interest rate goes really, really high, you might get 2%. That's the government guaranteeing your investment at 1 or 2%. It's not even half of what inflation is. And Bitcoin went up 100% per month. Okay? Paul says risk versus reward scale of 1 to 10, Bitcoin is an 11. Okay, well, don't get me started, Paul, because I'm not a big believer in investing in fake things that don't even have. I can't taste a Bitcoin, can't put one in my mouth, can't buy it, can't bury it in the ground. It's an absolute. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that because that's very political and that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. But digital assets, okay? If I get Marco to make me a little piece of software and I send out, after it's developed, and I send out 4 to 5 emails to my buyers list of 5,000 people, I make an ROI of 600 to 1,000%. Boom, right there. Never mind, I got it per month, but that's 1 week. So Bitcoin, probably the biggest phenom in the investing thing in the last little while. I absolutely blow it away. It doesn't compare. The ROI is so hard. Like when people they're always on social media, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And I tell them, I said, listen, I'm great. I'm glad you're having so much luck with Bitcoin. But I can spend $500 and I can get $3,000 back in a week. 100% of the time, I mean, okay, if sometime I mail and all of a sudden it's a really bad week, oh, I only made 450% instead of 1,000. I don't invest a little bit of money in a piece of software and not make at least 400, 500, 600%. The last time I lost money with software, I worked on a LinkedIn project for almost 3/4 of a year, and when we launched it, LinkedIn changed its API, and it was all money down the drain. I learned a very valuable lesson. I only do short-term projects now. But a digital asset is mind-blowing when you're talking about investing, okay? You cannot compare anything. Gold, silver, ideas, nothing produces at the rate of this. I have never seen any example that even compares to this. So that's my answer. Number one, digital assets, particularly software. But there are other digital assets that have tremendous money potential, okay? So what kind of digital assets are most profitable? And why? So we talked about software, right? But why are they so profitable? Because they fill a need. Okay, so most people don't make any money because they're in a business that fills a want. Okay? When I want to drive the car, I certainly do not want to buy gasoline. I don't want to buy any gasoline. I don't want to take the money out of my pocket, and I don't want to buy it. But if I want to drive my car, I need to buy the gasoline. Okay? If you are in a want product, doesn't mean you can't make money. But it's going to be cyclical. You're going to make a little bit of money here, and you're going to stop making money there. The product could die on you altogether. Nobody's interested in it anymore because it's a want product. It does not mean you cannot ride the wave and make a bunch of money in a short period of time, but it's not sustainable. Whatever product or service you're selling must fill a need. Okay? I sell software. My software is about marketing and lead generation. The businesses that I target, without lead generation and marketing, they can't make any money. They don't want to pay me for any of the stuff I make. But if they want the benefits that the product provides, they need to pay. It's not a want. You don't want my software because it's so sexy. There's tons of software on JVZoo. 99 out of 100 JVZoo products are junk garbage that are just want-based. Oh, cool, I just want that. But you need a product, whatever your business is. If it's not a need product, find another one. If it is not a must-need product for your target market, find another product. You being in love with your product, you wanting your product, that's not going to make you any money. Okay? The next thing, you need a product that's consumable. Okay? So in the software business, well, if they have this software, maybe they don't need, it can be consumable a couple ways. They might want their team to have one, or they might want to have one on all of their computers. But what makes my product consumable in a way is that it opens a person's idea. When they have success with one product and they see how well it is, it opens their belief system to, oh my God, they need to do more of that. So if they had success with my Facebook product, well, now they need one for groups, and now they need one for Facebook, and now they need one for Messenger, now they need one for Instagram and YouTube and Twitter and LinkedIn. Now they need one for their browser, they need one for their website. So long as I continue to develop good products, I have a consumable audience in a way. But there's other products that are just digital that are just pure consumable. Like if I sell traffic, okay? You don't want to buy traffic from me. You don't want to buy leads from me. But if I have a lead program and I'm selling leads for X amount of dollars per 100 leads, and a person spends the money with me and those leads convert and they break even on those leads, and now they got a couple hundred people on their list, but they got all their money back, they don't want to give me any more money. But they need to, because they need more leads. And so long as the product is good, leads are consumable, right? Once you have them, there's no amount of leads that you have that you don't want more. If you've got 1 million on your email list, then your next goal is 2 million, right? Traffic is the same thing. If you bought 1,000 clicks to your website, if the quality was good and you got a return on your investment, that customer needs to come back and buy more traffic. That's a consumable digital product, okay? When you make a website for somebody, that's a big ticket item, but maybe there are dozens and dozens of consumable things like maintenance things, right? People writing blogs. There's dozens and dozens of little micro niches of these high-end costs that people are spending billions of dollars, and in the internet marketing space that we're in, almost nobody talks about it. Okay? Because they're all interested in the next biz op instead of filling the market that's there. So introducing digital arbitrage agency. Does anybody know what arbitrage is? Paul says yes. Okay, what is it? I guess I should have been more clear. Yeah, so Paul says it's a guaranteed return, and it is, but here's the reason why. Arbitrage is the simultaneous. Now, this is important because the buying of a service and reselling it is not new, right? You know, a car dealer buys from the manufacturer and then sells it, but it's not simultaneous. That car might sit on the car lot for a year. But when you buy something and sell it immediately, basically you're selling it, you're buying it only after you sold it, right? The simultaneous purchase and sale of a digital asset in order to profit from the difference of the price. It is a trade that profits by exploiting prices in different or identical or similar digital products in digital marketing industries. Okay, so basically if you can find the example that is always given, okay, is I'll go back. The example that's always given in that you've probably seen this 1,000,000 times. Somebody's looking for a logo. They're going to pay $50 for the logo. You're going to go on Fiverr. You're going to get the logo done for $20. So you made $30, and you don't even know how to make a logo. You don't need the portfolio because you've used the guy, the Fiverr guy's portfolio. They have no idea you never made the logo. That's arbitrage. The only thing is, the example that I gave you was crazy, crazy, crazy profitable maybe 5 years ago. Now it's been taught to death, and all of the low-end stuff, logos, headers, all of these things that have margins of 20 bucks here, 30 bucks there, they're all done to death. And it's hard to make any money, okay? Another example is Amazon to eBay. People have software, they search for really crazy deals on Amazon. They buy those deals, or they don't buy them. They put the product for sale on eBay for $5 more. Somebody buys it, and then they order it from Amazon, and Amazon sends it to the customer. That's arbitrage. The person didn't make the product. The person didn't house the product. The person didn't ship the product. They just made $5 for selling the product. Okay, so that's drop shipping or retail arbitrage. But again, you know, unless you are, man, you got to be bright and you got to be a hustler. I don't know how, you know what I mean? If you're making $3, $4, $5 per transaction, there's still quite a bit of work per transaction. You got to be, I wouldn't want to do that kind of business. But there are people doing it, okay? They don't need expertise in anything other than how to do arbitrage. They don't need to have the skill that they're selling. Okay, so the example I gave you from the logos, there's people been doing this. Sorry, I'm just. Yeah, Darla's saying arbitrage is done in the stock market all the time. They sell you a commodity at whatever price you agree to pay, and then they go and buy that commodity from somebody else for less. They already received the order before they actually purchased the product. So you could find probably 50, 100, 150 cool things. I'm going to talk about a little bit in a minute, where you can go on outsourcing sites like Craigslist, Elance, Upwork, all of these places. You can find people actually looking for these services. And then you find the service provider and you sell them the service. Like I said, all of the real easy ones are crazy saturated. I mean, I'm not saying that you might not make a couple $100 doing logos, but the chances of you doing 5 figures in the logo business, I would bet against it. Okay? Okay, so Shrin saying, how do you decide on the margins to add onto the arbitrage item? What's fair? What I do is this. I research any market I'm going to do arbitrage in. I'm going to show you a product in a minute. If I find a product that I go and I see all the competition is selling it for $600, $700, $1,000, well, then I know what the retail price for that digital service is online. If I can find a reputable provider that can do it quickly for me at a fraction of the cost, then I have a winner. Okay? So software is one, right? Software is one. If you can find somebody who's going to stock your shelves worth of software, and you have a digital business that's stocked to the hilt, and you can make that kind of ROI that I talked about. And then there's the other arbitrage ones we're going to talk about. We're going to aim higher. We're going to offer only products in high demand. Okay? The highest demand that produce the highest profits. Okay? And of course, we're talking about digital assets.